Hey everyone, ErikOnPaper. I'm Erik and really excited to talk to you about the latest Spider-Man 4 update. We had 4 shooting days that I can go over and discuss with you, share some fun behind the scenes stories, my impressions, things like that. If you want to keep following for more updates, please hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I accept all toxic positivity. So let's begin. First day of filming was earlier. We had filmed some of the Vulture threatening Spider-Man, the video message that he leaves him. Now we went and filmed Bryn's reaction, or Peter Parker slash Spider-Man's reaction to all this. And to answer a viewer's question, is Spider-Man 4 going to be as brutal as intended? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I think Spider-Man 4 will be very brutal, both physically and emotionally for Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Plus also it's Bryn, and well, let's just say I'm going to put him through the ringer because I can't stand the guy. Just kidding, Bryn. We filmed him reacting to some green screen elements and doing some action bits, and the cool news is that Bryn takes to choreography really well. I'm really excited about that. Suit looks great in motion, moves super well. I think that, I mean, also, as I said, Bryn's a quick study. I know he did theater and things like that and has movement training, so that helps a lot because for me it's all about nailing the comic book poses and the heroics, especially when it comes to action scenes. Like, there are so many different flavors. We didn't want to do the action has to look like the Raimi films, and if you look at the Raimi films, he is trying to recreate comics where it's less about intricate choreography and more about broad swings and things like that. Like, Spider-Man doesn't really fight, you know, like in a particular martial arts style. There's a lot of gymnastics involved. The punches are fairly simplistic, same with the kicks. But seeing that Bryn could even start to embody that, I think that the audience is really going to recognize his effort. So that was a quick shooting day, but it was a lot of fun. And plus, when we're coming up with ideas for fight choreography and action beats on set, like, we have it all written out, but then we get to push things further, or sometimes it's like the script change, so our choreography has to reflect that. The next scene we shot was another scene between Black Cat and Spider-Man. This one was a very flirtatious moment. We called it their first date setup. It was a scene that I had looked forward to filming in the script because because all great scenes have arcs to them, and this arc was very interesting, and I think that it's filled with tension in that we see that Spider-Man is very tempted by Black Cat, and what's interesting with their relationship is that Mary Jane has fallen for Peter Parker. She hasn't fallen for Spider-Man. Spider-Man's just kind of there. But Felicia has fallen for Spider-Man and not Peter Parker. Spider-Man having that side of him acknowledged and, you know, respected. I mean, because he gets, you know, crapped on by Jameson in the Daily Bugle. You know, Mary Jane reluctantly goes along with the Spider-Man thing, I feel. But to have somebody embrace that, I think that acknowledgement is going to cause a lot of tension for Peter. And my intention with people watching the scene is I want them to feel uncomfortable and tense, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's our hero doing? And the actors, it was Greg who was in the Spidey suit at the time. He did a great job with the scene because it's a lot of what we call Power Ranger acting on set. You know, you have to communicate through the costume. And, you know, Mandy, I don't want to say has an easier job, but she's able to use her face. Greg wasn't. He had to make do with all the gestures, and the thing is, he can't see out of that well. I haven't actually put on the Spidey suit yet because, well, frankly, I don't fit into it. I'm too big. Yeah, he was describing, it's fogged up. I can see just tiny little bits of this and that. Uh, so when it comes time to filming the action scenes, that's going to be a lot of fun. Hope everyone will be okay. So he had to create that moment, go off of muscle memory and things like that. But to his credit, he had learned all the dialogue. Bryn was prepared to read it off screen, but Greg got it. Okay, now, the moment you're all waiting for. I know. I'm excited as you are. We finally got to film me as Alistair Smythe. Oh, and I guess Ed as the Kingpin got more likes on Instagram. Um, but yeah, we filmed the first Smythe and the first Kingpin scene together. Kind of a warm-up day, actually, for both of us. When I joined the Spider-Man 4 project when I was only as an actor. And they said Ed Adeka as the Kingpin. And you see his photo, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Then I go over to the set to chat with Ed, shake his hand, and he is very, I said, so Ed, you looking forward to this? And comes out with the perfect Kingpin voice. He's not even trying, he just naturally has a deeper, resonant voice.
Fisk Industries will give you the future that we deserve. I, Wilson Fisk, have made it my personal mission to give you a brighter and better future.
I said, oh, I am very excited, a little nervous. Ed is actually a magician, performing with a lot of, performing at shows and things like that. So he knows how to work an audience. He knows how to get people to like and respond to his performances, so took direction very well. He is such a funny person. Just joking about him, he and I are big horror fans, so we talked about Friday the 13th a lot. He actually has a Jason tattoo on the back of one of his legs. So, in case you're wondering, Kingpin rocks a Jason tattoo, at least in our movie. What was interesting while directing is that as Smythe, I have to be very subservient to him. I am definitely physically and financially his underling, but then as soon as the camera turned off, I was the one, telling him what to do and things like that, so that was kind of amusing. Bryn persuaded me to shave my beard down to a goatee. Yeah, believe it or not, it hasn't been that long, and my hair grows super fast. But yeah, he said, Eric, shave it down to a goatee because I think it looks way more corporate, way more fashionable in around 2011, for that look. And also, Smythe isn't here to win any popularity contests. And upon shaving, I realized that if my hair was longer and in a ponytail, I'd have grown into Xanatos from Gargoyles, the animated series, one of my favorite things. I always wanted to be Goliath, so I feel like I kind of failed. But my take on Smythe is that the character, because of his physical condition, feels very alienated from the world. He self-isolated, and he just assumes people are judging him, so he judges them first and judges them unfavorably to make up for his own shortcomings. The one thing, though, he is legitimately passionate about is science. He and Kingpin need each other. That Kingpin obviously gives him is the money, finances it, and Smythe really enjoys taking money. It doesn't matter to him what his projects are used for. It's just the possibilities are what excites and drives him. And so we filmed our introduction scene, and Ed did a good job. I hope I did a good job. It's really hard to tell when you're directing yourself. I mean, personally, I always think I'm fantastic, but actually, all kidding aside, I had Bryn give me notes off camera about hey, is this working? Is this not working? That type of thing. And as much as I joke around, he gave me feedback on anything that was or wasn't working. He asked what vibe I was going for. I told him. So that was a really fun day. The next scene that we filmed was a really kind of intense one. One of the things I like about Spider-Man 4 is that it's not like a typical indie film where it's like, oh, we filmed it in my friend's apartment for 3 days and we just tried to make it look like a villain's lair or anything like that. We jump around to a lot of locations, hence all the green screen. One of the problems, though, is that eventually we're going to have to be taking out all those backgrounds, putting in 3D environments and matte paintings and things like that. So when it's coming time to, I'll say, cut down on things like, okay, what assets need to be built, what assets need to be composited in, and things like that, there are certain things that we just need to do to make it easier on ourselves. One of those things is we said, what's fitting in the scene is that what if the entire area is black? It's like this creepy chamber. Now in post-production, and I believe we're editing and going to be grading in DaVinci, you'll see in some of the footage where it looks like just black cloth and curtains, but rest assured that's all going to be balanced to where it's completely black. But that was a great scene. Mandy, as per usual, really did her homework. I love the dimensional arc in the scene of seeing Felicia really standing toe-to-toe with Kingpin. It says a lot about her character, and what I really liked about Ed's performance is I told him that his note for this movie is that Kingpin, as a background antagonist, he provides a lot of the motivation for Felicia, which then in turn affects Spider-Man. But I told him Kingpin, he doesn't have like an evil plot necessarily in this movie. It's not like he has this takeover scheme of New York. He just wants to keep running and making money illegally, like you do. So my note for Ed as Kingpin was to remain perpetually unimpressed all the time. And he said, and all of us here are fans of Vincent D'Onofrio's performance, that's what he's going for. And he's not like doing an impression, but you'll get that vibe and feeling. But Felicia gives him attitude. She's very, I would say she's a little bit snarky, but not like a Joss Whedon snotty. More just like, she tries to, both characters love being in control of the situation. So when you put two people in a room like that, and I love the way the scene's written too, but watching them try to play one another is pretty fun, and I think the audience is going to have a great time watching that scene. I'm in that scene briefly. Yes, unashamedly, in the initial script, it was just going to be a doctor who's only in one scene, and it was just that scene. And I said, after the table read, why, if this doctor's only going to be in one scene, are we going to have to go hire another actor, get him in wardrobe, and just for like a thankless part, when you could instead just have SMYTHE on there, and it gives the character we already seen more screen time, more actions, things like that. And Bryn agreed, not just because of my perpetual need for attention and screen time, but scene worked out well, added another dimension to it, and we actually get to see Greg in the movie as Kingpin's head of security. And Greg is one of those actors who can say a lot without doing a lot, and that's great for a character who has a few lines, but I said, he's an ex-military type. Kingpin respects him because he follows orders, and Kingpin respects him as a fighter. So the head of security has to earn Kingpin's respect at every turn. I will say the scene was not the most comfortable for Mandy, just because she's on a table and we had this gadget that if you didn't put it on correctly would like dig into her neck. Just to be clear, I did not put it on correctly at one point. Mandy still won't talk to me about it. Actually, I'm just kidding. It was more like just learning to adjust. I mean, but overall, that was a lot of fun. Great few days of filming. As to what we have left, not as much as you would think. I've been crossing off sections of the script. And yeah, we do have a couple bigger shooting days. What we're working on next is the weather's actually quite beautiful up here now, so we're going to take advantage of that and do some outdoor filming. Next month, the lizard suit will be finished completely, I believe, as well as the lizard set. We're going to be doing a choreography jam session for Black Cat Spider-Man. And hopefully be able to film that really soon, because what I'd love to do is do another video, and I think you'd all be excited about it, is showing how we plan a fight scene from beginning to end, and then showing the shooting of that fight scene. We're planning a fight between, as I may have just mentioned, Black Cat and Spider-Man, doing some additional choreography / storyboarding for the lizard. And if you have any moves or ideas for fight scenes, like if you want to see Black Cat do this or the lizard do that, it'd be awesome to let me know down in the comments so I can work that into the choreography of the scenes. And if anything else coming up soon, May is going to be a pretty busy month in terms of production and getting things ready. I'll update you when I can. Some more art videos coming down the pike. In the meantime, I hope you keep telling your stories, and please consider hitting like and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.